Let's go, let's go. Right then, what is going on? Hope everyone's having a good week. Nice easy day today, I do think. Nice steady easy day, just on the multiverse chart as normal, watching the pullbacks. Or supposed pullbacks. I had a little bit of a day off yesterday. Choppy price action. Not a lot to see really. I think if you were day trading, scalping directionally, I think shorts were the flavour of the day yesterday and last night. Mentioned real early on to the guys in the Discord that look, there's offers on quite a lot of altcoins, so you either look for shorts or you chill out and wait for pullbacks depending on which way you want to play it. Obviously higher time frame trend of Bitcoin is still good in the hood, so yeah, it just depends on which way you want to manage it and play it. ETH had a little push up yesterday, nice to see it. Offers capped price as they were early on in the day yesterday. Sol really is just following everything else at the minute. It's really not doing its own thing. BTC, I think as usual, the order flow, the order books, the data we're being presented is absolutely brilliant. Okay, offers capping price there. There was still a little bit of depth in the book yesterday. Even when I woke up this morning, I was a little bit hopeful for this 105 region, but we have lost some depth now, okay? So there's a few things we can look at together today to build a recipe for this next move, yeah? So we'll do that today, okay? We'll have a look at Bitcoin first of all. We'll have a look at all the usual stuff together. Yeah, what's up? Jump in the chat then. Yes, Nick is just watching Algo, but I'm not prepared to trade this absolute bag of shit unless BTC and ETH are giving me a little bit of direction. Let me just go to a 15-minute chart just so I can pull and draw a little bit more data. But I think today is it's going to be a pretty easy day. Okay, so there's a few things I want you to take note of. Some areas of interest, highs and lows, and then we're going to have a look at the data together. Okay, one thing right here, right now. Okay, when I woke up this morning, pulling back from these highs, nice to see it. Thank you very much, crypto. Makes for good trading, gives us a little bit more value on your derivatives trades or whatever. When I woke up this morning, okay, you'll know from the video that we put out earlier as well. Yo, what's up? Yeah, jump in the chat, guys. Jump in the chat. Drop in the chat if you've got any questions or altcoins we need to look at, just as I'm going over a few things of importance on BTC. But I'll tell you what, it is quite a nice, easy day. So I'm not going to bore everyone to death with looking at BTC for half an hour, because I think the charts speak for themselves. Okay, so I woke up this morning. Okay, we still had a tiny bit of depth, but it's not much really. It's kind of a depth for tramps, to be honest. No book depth, no one really interested. So what happens when you've got no book depth? Well, you need to go and find it, don't you? But we had this bid just under the weekly opens, bit of spot bid, so quite hopeful that in this zone we might get some demand. What else is in this zone to look out for? The Monday lows. Okay, so that is a Sunday. That was Sunday 11:30 AM. We bounced, so this is now just under the weekly open, obviously, is where your Monday lows are. Okay, what else have we done if we don't take these first? Is we've got a Monday high there and then 2 wicks to try and take that high, and we haven't taken it. So trading wise, I think we're in for some good trading to end the week. We've got some really nice untapped levels. Okay, so we want to see some demand in the lows. If we get an instant bounce today, I actually think that would be something you want to short into again. So if you were scalping, day trading short this yesterday, that was definitely the right move. Okay, you know, there was nothing to see. You couldn't take these highs. Perpetuals market were capping price here. Bid was fading a bit. So if you caught the highs and then saw the bid fade even more, that's signaling, yeah, hold on to that. Okay, what else do we see from perps? Okay, as the capping price, higher bands, appreciated, it's 2.5 to 5% away. But they're not interested in bidding, okay? They're putting offers in, and we see a little offer close in on price now. So I'm not bothered for longing right here, right now. If we bounce up, okay, with the lack of depth of book, I think that would be something that, you know, if you are scalping day trading, you want to lean into and probably short that again. to be honest, okay? And then wait for better demand, because we've just not got it right here, right now. So that is your picture on the perpetuals market. You've lost depth of book. You can see it's gone negative. You know, open interest, it's not like it's at the lows. If you just draw comparisons on what the perps market looked like at the beginning of the week, okay? So just to go over this really, really quickly, because we know where we've been, we need to know where we're potentially going, don't we? Okay, but you've just got to draw some comparisons on the data. So on Monday, when we woke up, okay, look at the depth, look at that depth there, okay? So a lot of orders stacking in, you had that big order there. So there wasn't much depth of book there again. But look how low that open interest was, okay? So a lot of contracts had been chopped up over the weekend and probably from Friday as well. Your open interest was mega, mega low. I think the CVDs were curling up as well, which was nice to see. And then as the day went in, or on, should I say, the depth of book just absolutely built, okay? So that was a long, all day long. If you compare that to where we are now, you've got a little bit of limit buying going on from the perps market, but it's not much, okay? It's not much. You've got no depth under it, okay? So any bounce here, I think, because, you know, you never know, some Giga Chad might step in with massive market buy orders and senders, okay? So you've always just got to consider these scenarios, but never wear your heart on your sleeve, like you would say, and commit to those decisions and biases, okay? Just trust the data wherever it leads you, okay? But right here, right now, if you are to float up from here, for me personally, looking at where we are, it's going to be a weak move, yeah? If you are in favor of shorts, okay, I would probably lean into it and short it again, yeah? Just to say that. So we've got some nice levels to play. I'm quite happy just to chill and relax here. As I say, I had a little bit of a day off yesterday. Happy to relax here. I think it would be nice if we just came down first. Yeah. So I want down here. If we can get under the weekly open, great. If we can take these Monday lows, great. Okay. But that's all technical, isn't it? Yeah. So what do we want to see? We want to see some bid come in here. Right, really, okay, so I'm eyeballing this level, but I'd like to see the ratios fill up. Spot ratios, not very good, okay, but slightly building, yeah, so you're starting to marinate the recipe. 42 positive ratio on Binance Spot, 49 positive ratio on Coinbase Pro, a couple of other people getting involved as well. Oh, there we go. Perhaps just a little bit of involvement there with a 34 ratio, but it is negative above. So any bounce, I think, could potentially still get faded, but we'll see. We'll see, okay? So, yeah, you've got potential. I'd just rather drive down a little bit lower first. Why? Obvious, really, because if you're trading, you've got better value down here. It's better risk reward than just, you know, trying to get long right here for a bounce that might give you a couple of percent, unless you're scalping, of course, okay? You know, for that kind of New York open reversal that we generally get, like we did yesterday, okay? So, yeah, BTC, nice and easy, I do think. You've got untapped highs, but I think it would be really good if we came down first for a better risk reward to then bounce over the next couple of days and take those highs out. But, yeah, really, I think Coinbase were bidding here a little bit earlier, so they've got some fills on this level here. But not much depth of book from Coinbase Pro. A couple of the other exchanges, Bitfinex is bidding here. Let's have a look what CoinM is doing. CoinM, no, nothing. They've got a little bit of a death cloud above as well. I don't put too much weight on the CoinM chart at all, to be honest, but I do like looking at it now and again, just with confluence of everything else. And then we've already looked at perps. You've got some limit orders in here. I think you could well get a little bounce here, but I don't think it's going to offer much. I certainly don't think from this kind of structure you're going to go and attack all-time highs or anything like that. I hope I'm wrong. If anyone is longing, I hope you are rewarded with an absolute mega pump. But I would rather wait to see if we can take some lows first. I'm not bothered about chasing mini bounces, okay? If I get in along, I want the best risk reward and I want to hold it for absolute giga sends or giga nukes if we go up first and then we reverse down, right? So some nice levels to play. Daily open just up here. It might be the case that you just bounce up to the daily open and then reverse from there. Okay, if you're a little bit of a classic TA nerd like myself, then you might see that. Okay, volume wise, just as we'll go through a couple of other things and then I'll show you the classic TA chart. Volume wise, Not much to see on a 15-minute basis, but if on this template you just flick to a 5-minute basis, because we have got a slightly slower look back on this. Again, building the picture for a bit of a recipe. Okay, that open interest is coming down. Funding's just up a little bit at the minute. So I'd rather, funding is not everything, to be honest, you know, but I'd rather see that just drop down as well. Over the last 12-24 hours, we can see it's been a little bit of a retail long zone. Yes, I'm looking at you, Mr. James Wynn. Whether you've got billions of dollars or not, he's probably making more money from marketing, that guy, to be honest. But yeah, anyway, if we come down, don't let me get off topic, it's too early in the day for that. If we come down, just watch for them potential bull divs again. Very, very standard stuff, nice and boring, right? That's how it should be. I mentioned this the other week. It should be boring. What am I looking for? I'm looking for bid, I'm looking for some nice order blocks, I'm looking for volume divergences, nuclear open interest. If the funding comes down as well, then albeit, okay? So yeah, nice, easy levels. My console's actually been a little bit slow today, to be honest. I don't know what's going on there. Probably got a couple of other windows open. Quick look at trading view then. Okay, so we know we had this little bit of a range and this ascending wedge or whatever it is. Giganuke down, back up, okay? Bears absolutely fucked. So for me, higher time frame, we're still in a big trend, right? We just are, you know, love it or hate it, we're still in a big trend. The meat of the moves is still up, in my opinion, okay? So where would I like to get to if we're going to take those weekly opens and Monday lows? Anywhere down here, okay? So 106 into that 105 region, there's your Monday lows. It looks a bit far away. It's actually only 1.5%, or something like that. Yeah, quick maths from Nick, 1.6%. 1.6%. Are you telling me that you're so eager to long or short and press loads of buttons that you can't sit on your hands for a few hours and see if we can drop 1.6%? That's what I'd prefer. Lower we go, better risk reward, okay, and then see if we can volley it back up. That'd be really, really nice. So just thought I'd show you that TA chart. We can have a look at a couple of other coins if you want, but really, as always, we need to concentrate on the bid ask, right? So let's just jump back and have a look at what's going on. Max says, yo, what's up, Sircam? Max says 1042 would be golden pocket. I'll take your word for it, sir. Golden pocket. Yep, so, you know, as always, we mark the levels out. We have these zones, you know, I have these zones in my head all day long. This is where I want. I'll set alerts. I'm setting alerts on the bid ask. You know, if this, that, then that. If we go there, what am I looking to see? Okay, I'm looking to see the ratios fill up. I'm looking to see that open interest come down a little bit. I would like some bullish divergences. And that's it. It's very, very boring, and that's how it should be, okay? So I think that's BTC pretty much summed up. Don't chase candles about in this first half hour of the US Open. As we all know, of course, the ringing of the bell doesn't mean anything, but everyone's waking up over there and slinging a little bit more volume into the market. Non-financial, yeah, this is for entertainment and paper trading purposes only. Dirt 1000x pump fund long, max is 104.2. Yeah, I mean, that would certainly take all lows and liquidity, wouldn't it? That 104.2. Yeah, I mean, anywhere in this region. To be honest, when I saw this morning and then went for a run, I set some limit bids down here because I thought, yeah, that's nice and safe. Maybe this depth builds, the open interest really low, so maybe if we drop down there a little bit more, this open interest is going to keep nuked. As the day's gone on, I just thought, nah, fuck it. I need to watch the price action today in the US session. I just need to watch it, to be honest. You know, I'm not about to stick limit bids on, not knowing what the data looks like at those areas. For me, that's how it should be. You have levels in mind, okay? You have levels in mind, but I would rather be discretionary and review it as we go. If you're coming down to zones like this and you see the depth filling up, you're seeing the volume divergences and your ratios are going absolutely batshit crazy, 60-70 in the ratios, and you can feel it sometimes. You can feel yeah, we're coming in for a bounce here. There's good bid coming in. I can see a BTC Diamond coming in or something like that. Then I would go, yeah, okay, let's launch a couple of limit orders in here, and then maybe we'll just leave ourselves a little bit of room. Right here, right now, I'm really not sure. I'm really not sure. It looks like a grinding kind of pullback. There's been no giga nuke, is it? When do I get to longer pullback? Well, you won't, because you forget it's a pullback and you'll short it, sir. But yeah, so we'll see. So I think that's Bitcoin summed up pretty much. We'll have a look at it again towards the end of this session. Give me a shout, as I say, if there's any coins you need to look at. Jump into the description as well and get a free trial on the Trader Console. And don't forget to jump into the Academy and the docs pages as well for further education. Right, so ETH has been strong. Love it or hate it, it doesn't matter. It's been strong, okay? And the chart is still very, very good on it and very constructive. Looking for pullbacks last 2 days, to be honest. We're getting those pullbacks now. This is a nice area for ETH to pull back to. It's still in a resistance to potential support flip in this zone on ETH. Let me just show you that very, very quickly for the TA nerds. Okay, what time frame am I on here? 1 hour, yeah. Okay, so this was when we this zone here was when we last spoke on the last live session. So resistance, failed, down, up, break, back test, back. So you want to see, and I'm going to call this a sign of strength, and I'm not talking about a Wyckoff pattern or anything like that, but you want to see signs of strength in this potential resistance to support zone. Really, really absolute traders 101, absolute basics. Okay, so you've got these levels here anywhere in this zone. You want to see some demand now come in on ETH, and we'll push up. Okay, nice and easy. The order flow in ETH has it's cooled off a little bit, to be honest. Perps market was well bid at the beginning of the week. Look at this. I thought it was going to absolutely gigasend, to be honest, absolutely gigasend. Perps market has cooled off. It's now following BTC again to a certain extent, isn't it? Okay, a few limit bid orders there, not much depth on ETH again. ETH gets up to like that kind of like half 500 million, but open interest with this grind down is getting knocked out. So the wind is getting knocked out the contracts on ETH as well. So that's nice to see. For any further drop, I think that open interest will just come down even further. Soy Boy Sol is following everything else, unfortunately. It's had a load of bid here at this 160 level. Depth is okay for Sol. It's not bad. Spot books have got a little bit more active. Perps books a little bit dead on Sol, to be honest. Yeah, I've got no strong opinion on Sol, I do have to say. I really don't. I'm sure it will continue to do well if the market continues to do well. But right here, yeah, so we broke down this ascending triangle, or whatever you want to call it. It almost looks like, I don't know what you'd call this. You can't really call it an inverted head and shoulders unless you come right down here again, and this looks a bit odd. You could almost say it's trying to trend. Okay, maybe, you could do some shit like that, but I'd be up for a little bit lower on Sol, obviously, into this 155 region. So yeah, no strong opinion. I'm just up for playing it if we get a bounce on ETH and BTC, obviously, and I just think the lower the better now. When you get these pullbacks, more often than not, people will long it too early. They'll get excitable. We've got the data to look at. And we know when we're going to hit some zones. Okay, so we know that we're chopping about here. The demand's not amazing, so just chill a little bit and potentially wait on it. All right. So that is Sol. A couple of other things to look at. Let me check the chat. Yo, what's up, FMC? What do you think about VWAP standard deviations? Oh, mate, I don't look at them, to be honest. I look at VWAPs. I look at session VWAPs. I look at the weekly and the monthly VWAPs. Standard deviations. Oh, mate, you tell me. Everyone go give FMC a follow. He's got a great YouTube channel anyway, so click on his name there. I think it might take you to his YouTube channel for that German precision trading. Yeah, standard. I don't change anything in my settings, to be honest. I really don't. I'm very simple. I'm a very retarded, simple trader. You tell me, you guys tell me, and I can go and have a look at it in TradingView. Sometimes change it to fib levels. Yeah, we can have a look at that. A couple of other bits, and then we can go and have a look at that together if you want. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, you guys, a lot of you guys in here are more technically and analyst wise, better than me. I am a humble trader pressing green and red buttons. You know, I'm very simple to the point of being retarded, sir. So Serkan says, instead of using 1, 2, 3, use a multiplier of 0. Ah, good idea. I understand why you do that, actually, though. Yeah, good idea. Yeah, nice. Right, couple of things to show you. If you were at your desk yesterday and trading, which I wasn't, I think the short side trades, there was a few good ones. I think DK went over a couple with you guys, obviously, in the Discord yesterday. Ones I saw that I didn't play, I was away from desk, but I was on my mobile phone. I could have done. I thought LTC was nice. Absolute textbook short there. You know, you got 1.5% risk there. For LTC was really nice, just to show you that. And ETC as well. ETC has mega good order books. Look at this fucker. Right, so it moves quite slowly, right? Whatever you think about ETC, it's the same as a lot of other coins and altcoins that I would show you. Look, it does all right volume for a shit coin, all right? You know, you look at some of the other coins, they're doing like 500k, million, you know, $1 million bucks. ETC order books are phenomenal. Yeah, look at that bid depth there. Okay, so you had two opportunities to long ETH. I think we went over this before anyway, but two opportunities to long ETC, should I say, not ETH. And look at that. Look at that. That is absolutely beautiful. No fighting when it's like that. What I would say is, if ETC revisits that area at $19, I think that will crack. Okay, I wouldn't look to short that zone again. A little bit of a recycled zone. I know it would probably be, you could call that 1, 2, maybe the third hit. I would maybe just call that whole area 1. I wouldn't be up for shorting that again. It needs to find demand. It obviously doesn't look as good as it is there, but yeah, it looks really, really good. And this is a typical chart. This is a typical chart of what I would say is, if you're up for trading an altcoin, right, and it's got real shitty low volume, the tick count on it's real low because no one's fucking trading it, right, get something that looks like this, right? If you're not bothered about the project and just investing in it for spot, and you are derivatives trading, you could almost say, if your chart in the order flow doesn't look like this, leave it alone. Because this is phenomenal, right? If this was the only trade you took this week, right, I'm sure there was coins that moved more, but just for instance, forget this is ETC, maybe this is something else, right? Forget it's ETC. If it doesn't look like this, leave it alone. Look at that. That is absolute beautiful risk reward. 90 ratio there with the top level. That's your long. Okay, stops under that level. TP, okay, maybe TP there as you see this supply start to come in. Maybe you go, oh shit, okay, yep, supply's getting even heavier, so maybe that's TP1, then maybe you do full take profit there. And then that, for me, is a beautiful short there, okay, on ETH. So just bear this in mind, imprint this chart in your head, okay? It doesn't matter whether you're looking for longs, whether you're looking for shorts. If it doesn't look like this and do good volume, leave it alone. Yeah, just fucking leave it alone, to be honest. So I just thought I wanted to point that out. Right, let me check the chat. Kinyo, yo, what's up? Hi Nick, for BTC swing trades, have you looked at 1 hour OI RSI set on short accumulation 8? Testing this the last few weeks, it's been pretty accurate at marking local tops and bottoms. That's a good idea. Yeah, I've got, what have I got on? Yeah, obviously, and then he says, obviously you need compliments for CVDs, etc., but looks great compared to GPS. What do you think? Yeah, we'll have a look at it. We'll have a look. 12 to, a swing 12 to 18 hours? A swing trade, 12 to 18 hours, that's a day trade for me. Everybody's different, aren't they? I would call a swing trade weeks and months. I would call a swing trade like weeks and months. Yeah, that's a day trade for me. Yeah, let's have a look. I think I've got it on. So 1 hour open interest RSI, and then what we're doing? Open interest RSI accumulation 8. So look back, yeah. Look back 8. Length all. Does that change it? Yeah, it does. Yeah. Ooh, yeah, it's nice, isn't it? Yeah, it's nice. Bottom. Let's have a look. Let's verify and not trust. Who said that? 10 fart coin to the first answer. Only joking, I don't hold fart coin. So bottoms, yeah. You know, that you could call this continuation, and then that is a nice one, isn't it? That's a nice one. And then your highs here are kind of like a stall point, aren't they? That's like your stall point, isn't it? So you boost up, you hit the high at the point of going up, and then you probably want to check your supply zone, like you rightly say. And then, yeah, so that's kind of your first failure there as it comes down. But yeah, confluence with other things. Yeah, it's nice, isn't it? Yeah, really, really good. Yeah, really, really nice. What did I have it on then? 16. 16, that would be a low. That'd be a low. 16. Yeah. Yeah, I do like the open interest RSI. I don't care what anyone says. And the thing is, having it on an RSI, because we all know what open interest kind of gets to, don't we? You know, the billions of dollars, and then after a nuke, you can see liquidations. I really do like it on an RSI, just to, as I say, if you're a simple retarded trader like me, it's nice just to have it like that, isn't it? Yeah, that is really, really nice. Yeah, I'm a retired scalper, so you've gone more relaxed now. You've gone more relaxed, and swing trades are 12 to 18 hours. Yeah, scalpers. Yeah, you need to get off that ketamine scalping scenario, don't you? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, if you're trading those kind of scenarios, that it's giving you a little bit of a hint, isn't it, of you know, you might be coming to the end of this move, you might be coming to a little bit of exhaustion, and then you might check the supply, you know, so your 1 hour RSI is telling you that, okay, I'm a little bit hot. What if I got it on here, actually? I've got it down here now. 16, yeah, so I might adjust this one. So my 15 minute I've got an open interest RSI on this template. I added it in, actually, because I am muck loving it. And yeah, so you're getting a little bit hot, but then you rise up, you hit some supply. So yeah, it's warning signs, isn't it? Even yesterday, look at that, yesterday. Really, really nice. Yeah, really good. Lows have been good. You know, continued lows for a number of hours. Then we got that perps market push. Yeah, really good. It's nice, that. Yeah, really, really good, that. I do like it. Yeah, it's why I added it to this. I could, and then I just dropped these parameters on. I could probably do with changing these, but it is just an RSI. I mean, we all know, don't we? And you could, yeah, you could set alerts on this, you know. You could create an alert on this. RSI, open interest crossing. It'd be either crossing or greater than. I'd probably have it at, you might want it at probably like 80. I've got it at 80 here. But you could certainly set an alert on this. I don't think I've set one. It might be part of Liquidity King here. Let me check. Order book depth, open interest aggregation, RSI. There we go. Yeah, so I've got one here. You could even pick it off this if anybody wants it. There you go. So long on the RSI metric. This is a higher time frame kind of thing, though, because I think I've got this. Oh no, I've got it separate. RSI less than value for longs, okay, and then obviously for the short side, RSI close greater than value. I might need to up that, actually, but yeah, you can create alerts on this from the metrics and stuff. Absolute genius stuff. Really, really, really is. Right, let's jump in to a couple of other things then. BTC holding here. Not a lot changing. I mean, this could take a number of hours. And when you are looking at the price action, and it's a little bit like this, if we don't get any moves in this US session, the end of the US session is generally being quite good. I do tend to find, because it's a time when I'm settling down for a little bit of Netflix and chill. at like 9 p.m. my time, and then the market starts moving. Thank you very much. So yeah, if we don't get any moves in the next few hours, give it a bit of time. Let's have a look and see if we get those lows or any highs to lean into for any scalpy day trades. But altcoin wise, I'll be honest, I'm not watching too much Dash spot double bands. That's nice, isn't it, on Dash? It does move a bit shit though for a dinosaur coin. No other major alerts. Polkadot. Yeah, I've seen this on a few coins. Aave is coming in some good demand zones as well. So if BTC wants to sit here for the next few hours, we might get some bounces. Bear in mind, if you look at some altcoins like Aave, I mean, I know Aave absolutely ripped, but you've had some mega moves at the beginning of the week. So what are you expecting from this when Bitcoin is looking to drop a bit lower? Okay, lower your expectations, even though you might see the OBDs looking quite good. If you think BTC is going a bit lower and you're long and alt, either lower your expectations, drop your percentage you may be putting on it, you know, just nibble in a little bit, or just sit and wait, which is my method. A couple of other bits though. Teo obviously was the gig along from the weekend, exited that. I actually exited in this area. Can't remember what day that was. One of the lads might be able to tell me from the chat. Told the lads that I was exiting that. It went about another 1%, came down, and then, you know, once the meat of the move has been done, you're then in for a little bit of chop. So I've kind of left that alone. I think ENA has been a nice chart as well. I was keeping an eye on this all day yesterday. I think that was a nice scalp day trade long. I know a couple of the guys got in that. But then as BTC and ETH hit that supply and roll over, what do you expect from this really, you know? So you either tighten your risk and just let market stop you out, or, you know, you see that you've done 3 wicks, okay, 3 wicks over a couple of hours into that zone. Yeah, whether you're going to get much more off that move, I don't know. But ENA is an interesting one because the order books on perps have been very, very, very active. We've filled all this liquidity to the downside now. So I think if BTC does want to drop at any point, this thing's gonna certainly move up because we've taken a lot of this liquidity on the perps market. Other assets, CRV, what's that doing? Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of spot bid in the altcoins, to be honest. I am, and I'm even getting a lot of alt BTC alerts. So if BTC can get some good demand, I've got no doubt that alts could be in for a good weekend again. I say could be in for a good weekend again. We'll have to see, won't we? So Kinyo says, I also lay on a 4-hour OIRSI set on 6 look back. If 4 hours also elevated, you're cooked, or vice versa. Yeah, those higher time frame open interest RSIs are so good, like so good. Yo, what's up, Savara? Hey Nick, do you know any pairs that had historically great order books to back test strategies? Just have a look for larger volume assets. Just avoid anything that's really, really low volume, to be honest. If it's got good order books, like we just saw ETC, obviously, there are people still trading it, you know, interested in the spot market and the perps market. The more people trading it, the better data you will get. All right, so that's always my advice. Like, you might look at some coins sometimes and go, I can't think of any off the top of my head. We could have a look at the screen, and you might say, oh right, this coin's looking good, it's well bid, but the chart's not moved as well as anything else. Have a look at like trade count and stuff and see what actual volume it's doing. So have a look at volume delta 24 hours, have a look at the trade count. If it's doing a shit trade count and shit volume, you might long it and it's not going to move, right? Because no one's fucking trading it, you know? It's like we just got an alert on Dash. Someone's bidding spot Dash. Yeah. Is it going to move? Probably not. I think it's been sat at the same price point for the last couple of weeks, you know? But to back test, yeah, just drop some alerts on. You won't get historical alerts, obviously, if it's a new one you're dropping on. And just zoom back. Yeah, just zoom back and have a look. 50 million market cap. That's not much though, is it, for some altcoins? I don't think. at most altcoins in the billions. What I mean is, so for instance, you could get the screener up and just see what he's doing. Like, just get a volume delta up 24 hour or longer, and obviously you can see what's doing good volume. You know, something that stands out. You know, TR's doing good volume. We know that because that's been good to trade. For some reason, TRX is doing good volume. You know, a lot of these in here will probably have OK order books. XRP doing good volume again. You know, but then you'll look at some shit and it might have a kick of good volume, like boom there. That might just be one entity slung in some. I'm not sure here. I might get corrected by the OGs at the trader console, but for instance, that there, it looks like it's doing okay volume, 381k, which isn't that much to be honest. But the trade count, 24-hour trade count, shit on it. So is that just one entity slinging in some spot volume into the books? It probably is. You know, bit shit there. If you compare that to WIF, okay, which has got a slightly lower volume, but the trade count on WIF is 153k. So the order books on WIF are going to be a lot more active. Yeah, a lot more active. FMC says many low caps have really bad order books, basically only liquidity. Yeah, I agree. You know, you'll see that on the perps books where it just looks like some fucking algorithm holding the price up, because if they don't do that, it's going to nuke to zero. And I think you're going to see more of that. You know, we all love crypto. We're all here because we love crypto. We all believe it will do well in the future, and it is doing well, isn't it? You know, even though everyone's selling their Bitcoin to the bankers, or the banks are now making their own digital assets, which is not what I had in mind back in the day when I got into Bitcoin, to be honest. Bankers buying our coins. But you do what you want. But yeah, I think anyway, I'm rabbiting on. My point being is I think a lot of altcoins will just fucking die off. They will just die off. And the way to look at it is, we'll have a look at some other stuff. I'll keep on the screener for a second. I just want to see what's going on. The way to look at it is Bitcoin has had a massive move up. Even Ethereum chart is looking quite good now. Sol's following along. You've got other assets looking okay still and doing good volume. You know, I know Sue got hacked the other week, but it's still doing good volume. There's people still active trading it. I'm not sure so much if people are using that network, but it's still doing good volume on DEX, right? So then you look at some other coins like, you know, you might look at BAT, for instance, just caught my eye there, BAT, Basic Attention Token. Who the fuck is trading BAT and holding it, right? You know, I mean, I fucking look at this shit, right? And if I go to the perps market, it's just, this is just shit, you know, the shit volume, shit algorithm, shit books, just an absolute mess. So just ignore them, you know. And obviously it's going to be unfortunate if you're a bit of an altcoin holder and have a mixed bag of stuff that you're holding on to. I would never say, you know, this is obviously not an advice channel. I would never say get rid of it and get into something that moves, because you never know. And I could be talking absolute shit and be wrong on the whole thing, and every single altcoin is just about to send. All I'm saying is, if you are trading derivatives and looking for good moves, and I keep repeating this and I will keep repeating it, you know, sometimes people drop in the chat and say, oh, can you have a look at so-and-so coin? I'm like, yeah, I can. It looks shit. Right? And that's not to say it can't suddenly pull a 20% move up, but do I have any edge in trading that? No, not really. So if I miss it, it doesn't matter. It's not in my remit to look at a shit coin like LPT and go, well, I think this is gonna, you know, I mean, it's pulling 15% candles here, there, and everywhere, but the order books are shit. It's very easy to be wrong on stuff like this. Very, very easy. I've just got no edge in trading this. So yeah, it's pushing up now. Do I care? No, I couldn't give a flying fuck, sir. Anyway, I'm rabbiting on. I would trade stuff like ENA that looks good. ENA, you know, Athena. Really good books on it, you know. It's chopping down now. That's to be expected. I think the long was at the beginning of the week or at the weekend. But, you know, and it does good volume. You know, I fucking don't even have a clue what this asset is. I'll be absolutely honest. I'm not an altcoin guru. All I know is the order books have been good. It's doing double, triple volume that most other assets do, and it trades well. Okay, I've got edge. I've got edge in trading this kind of thing. A lot of the altcoins, I don't. Yeah. Yeah, but so FMC is right. Yeah, it is. And we're seeing that. We're seeing it in the perps books. No one's trading. No one's trading these assets in the perps books. Right, so let's have a look at BTC then. Yeah. Because I think we can keep the stream quite quick today. So drop in the chat if there's anything else I need to look at. I can go and have a look at TA charts as well if you want me to on Trading View. The old classic TA. BTC, yeah, not moving too much, is it? We've not moved in the last couple of hours, to be honest. As I said, daily opens there. Slight bit of depth coming back in now, so that's nice to see. Perps market taking a slight interest. So we're in positive territory on the ratios now. Let me just see what Perps are doing there. So yeah, we might get a little bounce here, you know. We might get a little bounce here, a slight tickle of ratio there. Not much, but it might be enough to give you a little bounce. Okay, spot market 47 ratio. Other parties not too interested. And what you could say is, in the so real close to price, 1 to 2.5, you've got a slight bit of interest, but not enough for an absolute mega reversal, I don't think. And then what you do have to consider is, right above price, 2.5 to 5% away, you've got remaining offers, okay? Ratios are not too big. It's not creating as a death cloud or anything like that. But you've still got negative ratios in spot, okay? And you've still got negative ratios in perps here, negative 20 ratio. On perps there, I think that is this alone. Okay, I sometimes don't even look at the chart. I'm just purely looking at this. And this alone is enough for me to say this can rise, but I don't think you're going to get a mega send and break up from here, especially when you've got untapped lows, untapped highs. All right, so let's have a look quick. I just want to have a quick look what stocks are doing, because you lot have me on the stream right at the US Open, and Nick wants to see what stocks are doing, so bear with me a second. Dixie's coming down, so that's nice. Thank you very much. I think we're going to have a little bit of a gap up and down, to be honest. I think there's going to be a little bit of volatility here. Tesla's moving. What we're doing on E-mini futures, really okay. So yeah, real neutral, a very neutral start. I know there's a bit of Middle East tension going on and all that shit. But when is there never Middle East tension? If you're basing your trades around that, unless you're trading oil, I wouldn't worry about it too much, because these things kick off all the time. You know, fuck it. Unless you're an oil trader or commodities trader, don't worry about it. Bitcoin is going to do Bitcoin things, to be honest. Max says big anomalies in the order book of low liquidity sheets can lead to big moves. Size of the top level in relation to the OBD. Yep. Yeah, that's what the screener's for as well. You know, keep an eye on the screener whenever you get those anomalies. And sometimes on those anomalies, like Max says, if the risk reward is very good, you've got to take the trade. It doesn't matter what it is. You know, I would never look at a low liquidity coin that had a very good risk reward and say, well, I'm just not going to trade that because it's a low liquidity coin and blah blah. Sometimes you've just got to step up and take it, and that is trading. Yeah, that's trading. That's not analysis. You know, we're not analyzers, although we do analysis. That is trading. Okay, there's an anomaly in the order books. It's a low liquidity coin. My risk is this. Do I want to take it? Yes or no? That's trading all over, isn't it? Yeah. Working on an alert for that, but have to back test it, Max says. So what he's saying, so low liquidity can lead to the size of the top level in relation to the OBD. Okay, so you might be able to set like an alt diamond alert. You might be able to set an alt diamond alert, but because we have obviously an order book depth and a top level, so overlay we've got on this, but you could change that to a depth. The only trouble is with your absolute shit coins is they all do different kind of depth, don't they? One might do 500k, another shitcoin might do 1 million. So you might want to keep that on an overlay, because it's that, and that's why it might be easy to work with a ratio rather than volume, I would say, and that's why ratios are the bollocks. They are really, really good. If you don't know what that means, it means it's good. It's something we say in the UK. It's the bollocks, mate. So yeah, you might be able to do something that. But then we are talking about depth, aren't we? Yeah, I'll have a think after the stream. You know, keep it as the top one. Maybe put that to 3 so you get a good warning when it's 3% away, and then yeah, maybe test it on 1 or 2 shit coins. If you are not going to use a ratio, maybe use a volume, get familiar with what volume they do, and then maybe something like that, I would say. Yeah, maybe. Right, drop in the chat if there's any other altcoins you need me to look at. For me, my main concentration at the minute is BTC ETH, because I want ETH to hold those levels for that potential resistance to support flip. It's nice to see we've got some spot depth coming in now. I'd like to be in on the next BTC move, whichever way it goes. I think it's going to be obvious to us here. If we come down, we all know what we want to see. We want to see that bid, yeah? It's going to be very obvious if, you know, higher time frame, I'm up for another push up. I do have to say, into this 118, 120. But that could take a week, 2 weeks, however long, okay? If we're not going to get that move, that higher time frame move up, because we know the weekly chart looks good. Yeah, we know the daily chart looks good. Okay, let's go check that. Okay, so we know the weekly chart looks good. Yeah, so we're just pulling back now to this potential support zone again on the weekly, and then do we get another push up into July? Okay, into that 120 zone. And it's not that far away, guys and girls. It's really not that far away. And then down. Okay, do you look for big shorts up there? Okay, if we're not going to get that, and this is it, okay, because we're leading into that summer boring price action, and we're just going to roll over, it's going to get very obvious. Let me just check the daily chart for you. So there's your daily chart. I think the daily chart looks really, really constructive. Nothing to get bearish about right here, right now. You can pull back right down to that 104 level. That'd be good. Like Max says, 105, around anywhere around there. That's your monthly open even, but you want to see some demand there. It's going to become, like always, very, very obvious if we're not going to get that. Why? Because the depth in the book is just going to keep fading like it has here, right? The depth is just going to keep fading. Spot orders will start pulling their levels, okay, leading into summer, because everyone's off to Portofino for the summer. Spot orders will start to get pulled, and then really, really obviously, the ask side will just get aggressive again. Okay, like we had last week, beginning of last week. Okay, so we lost the depth, the offers got aggressive and gave us that really, really nice drop, didn't they, to 100k? Really, really nice trading last week. We all know what happened. We V-shaped back up, but it was a nice trade down. Yeah, it was a nice trade down. If anyone got the 100k long, really well played. But as I say, it's going to be very, very obvious if we're just going to start rotating down now, right? This bid ain't going to come back. The depth ain't going to come back. Offers are just going to start chasing price down. On the spot market, you'll see that as well. So we haven't seen it yet. Okay, but if we're just going to start rotating, all right, let me just colour that up red. Really, really easy. The spot offers will just chase price down. Okay, these will disappear and you'll just get it chased down. Really, really easy to spot. And then you can lean into shorts. Okay, for me, I'm willing to just continue playing the trend, and I have been for, you know, ages. I think last week at the beginning of the week, Tuesday, Wednesday, they were really good shorts, weren't they? And we got rewarded really, really well on those, and that was a fair short on Bitcoin I've had in a long, long while, because it's just, I think it's just more relaxing to play the trend, to be honest. But last week I was like, oh my god, yeah, there's no depth for book here. Liquidity in the Liquidity King chart is so high. Yeah, fuck this, bears are in control, right? And I thought it might have been game over, but it's nice to see this recovery anyway. But yeah, drop in the chat if you've got any questions then. Me and Max will work on that alert and see if we can get that alert for the shit coins. Might be some edge in it, you never know. Might be some real edge in it. But I think the screener offers you, it might be worth, we don't have top levels on the screener, do we? I think Shaquille and DK mentioned something about potentially adding something like that. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Yeah, something like top order blocks here. So have a look at the chart. That'd be really good, wouldn't it? Interesting. Right, so quick look at the screener then. I just want to have a look at the bid ask. I can look at all assets. This is just my watch list on here. If you want to know how to do that, it's just there. Obviously, I can look at all assets, which will show me everything. The only trouble with this is it gives me Bybit perps. Bybit perps is constantly bid. Yeah, so Dash, we got an alert for that one. That's at the top of the bid. In the spot markets, Move, I think I've looked at that one before. I'm not sure what it is, but I think it's constantly bid at the minute. Not coin. Interesting. That's a meme coin, isn't it? Raven. There's a few bits. Do you know, I'm going to concentrate on the bigger assets. It's been a good start to the week. Obviously, last week was good trading. I'd rather just chill and wait for price to come to me and show me what's going to happen. TWT Trust Wallet, that tends to have good order books. I'm not sure why anyone would be trading or buying that on spot. Maybe they've got something up the sleeves, something coming. Perps market, I don't really care about this, to be honest, when we're pulling back. I do, but I want BTC and ETH to show their hand. You know, I'm not too bothered about Perps market meme coin being bid, to be honest, you know. So yeah, let's have a look. Right, let me close that down then. So BTC, yeah, drop in the chat now if you've got any questions. But as I said at the beginning of the stream, I think it's a nice, easy one today. You're quite in the middle. You are actually bang on in the middle of this week's price action. It always seems that when I'm on stream, it's been we do get it now and again when I'm on stream where we catch the low or the high of that move for the week, to be honest. But sometimes when I'm on stream, and you know why? Because Bitcoin ranges for 90% of its life. So if you're not a range trade, or you should be, sir or madam, because it is where you get some nice moves. But yeah, all I would say is, look, you've got Monday's lows here, just in and around that weekly open. Okay, so Monday's lows 105,270 or around there. Then what you've got above us, and I would rather come down first, but if we do float up off zero demand, I'd be up for shorting it back down, to be honest. You've got the Monday high there, and I think this goes for most exchanges. Spot market Monday highs are untapped. These wicks here are absolutely untapped. And I think that'll be the same on Perps. Did we hit them? Yeah, you can just see there, I've got it marked. Yeah, even Perps market didn't take those Mondays highs, so they're still untapped. So either float up, and because there's lack of bid, if we float up first, I'm going to short that back down. Okay, I had a day off yesterday. I think that was a very valid short. Some of the altcoins that we looked at were very valid as well. I'd prefer to come down first, just get it out of the way and see if we have some demand. Why would I prefer that? Well, we're in a trending market still. Yeah, we're still in a higher time frame trending market. So if you can get some good demand and get a good bid down here, wherever that may come, maybe the move up is a nice expansion that you want to play for the next 2 weeks. You know, maybe that's the move you want. Yeah, instead of this trickle down price action from shorting yesterday or the day before. You know, you're really grinding down. It's not like last week's good nuke. That was absolutely superb, wasn't it? But yeah, I think we'll call it a day there. It is really nice and easy, so I'm not going to bore everyone with looking at any other alts or anything, because I don't think there's too much to see on many alts. We need to see what BTC is going to do. We need to see what ETH is going to do. ETH's holding very well. So I think with whatever BTC does in the coming hours or days, ETH is going to rebound very hard. And notice that ETH has eaten all this supply. Where's its next supply? 3k. And I've got a feeling it can get there. So again, that's a trade I want to play. Okay, I don't particularly want to long ETH right here right now. Okay, I'd rather it drop a little bit and grab some liquidity, but that's the trade I want to play on BTC. Again, that's the trade I want to play. Even on Sol, you know, Sol's not quite reached this order block at 170. If Sol comes down again, that's the trade I want to play. Yeah, not bothered with playing these moves in the middle. Had a day off yesterday, quite willing to sit on my hands and do nothing here, push no buttons and plan for either or. So we'll call it a day there, guys. Very nice and easy. As I say, I don't want to bore everyone with going into details on too much. Sometimes that's how it is. If price does this, that's what I'm going to do. If it drops here, then that's what I'm going to do. In the meantime, I'm going to sit on my hands and wait for price and data to tell me what to do. I'm not going to speculate in this area where we are going, you know, and that's how it should be. Cheers, FMC. Yeah, everyone go give FMC a follow for that German precision, as I keep calling it. I often drop into your streams, sir. I don't have a clue what you're saying, because I did French and Spanish and a little bit of Italian in my younger days, but I should learn German, shouldn't I? Right, everyone, have a great day. Grab the links from below. I think the Discord and Telegram trader links are down there. Message me on Twitter or wherever. Can't promise I will answer, because I do get quite a lot of spam, but you can try and message me in the socials if you've got any questions. All right, guys, we'll speak soon. I think we're in for a good end to the week. We got a good end to the week last week, didn't we, on Friday, with that mega push up from the dip, so let's hope for some volatility. All right, we'll speak soon, guys. Cheers.